of the Mind Flip.
Welcome to Theatre of the Mind Flayer, a D&D play podcast set in the homebrewed world of Jekyll. We've got 2 DMs for some reason, which can only mean twice the fun. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your time at
Theatre of the Mind Flip.
Ayo!
Hey,
we are back.
We are back.
More
Back
Safirith.
again.
Was that a very loose version of oh goodness, I can't. It's been like 30 years. What's the name of fucking
Instinct.
M&M's Without Me?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, okay. I thought you were doing.
No, I was
Yes,
doing a
but-
match. I was doing a mashup between Eminem and NSYNC. You know, like the true '90s child.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't want
exactly.
to admit to being. Now I check people's IDs in the shop, and I'm like, 2004.
You're 12.
You
Get out of
you
here.
shouldn't be able to walk yet. And they're like, actually, I'm 20, and I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. You were about to break down the
College of Tragedy Bard, because we were
Yeah.
talking about tragedy. But the College of Tragedy Bard has a the whole thing is kind of based on you know how to soliloquize when you're dying, the power of tragic storytelling, the weaving of words, dramatic and devastating effects, stuff like that. It's based on I can't tell what it's based on, but it is very much like when shit goes wrong, you get benefits, which is kind of fun.
Okay.
But like level, what is it? 3rd level, you harness the beauty in failure, finding inspiration even in the direst twists of fate. Whenever you or an ally within 30 feet rolls a nat 1 on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can use your bardic inspiration as a reaction, which is kind of fun. But
Okay.
no, sorry, you regain 1 use of your bardic inspiration. That makes more sense.
Okay.
I was like, because using your bardic inspiration will not help a nat 1. But
Yeah. What is that? That's not going to do anything.
yeah, but I got that wrong.
Okay.
But at level 3, they exploit a foe's peril and instill deep feelings of sorrow and doom. When you are an ally, you can see forces a creature to make a saving throw. You expend 1 use of your bardic inspiration to change the type of saving throw to a charisma throw instead. That's fun. If it fails the save, roll a bardic inspiration, and the target takes physical damage equal to the result, and plagued with regret for 1 minute. If it is reduced to 0 hit points during this time and can speak, they are magically compelled to utter a dark and poetic final words before succumbing to their injuries. So you pretty much force your dungeon master to do it.
To wax poetical.
Yeah,
I mean, as
exactly.
long as you're not fighting a succubus or some other creature that is freaking charisma up the wazoo.
Yeah. I mean, charisma's one of the hardest saving throws for monsters from memory.
Yeah, because I guess most of them aren't.
Just, yeah. Unless you build all your PCs in D&D like I do.
Yeah.
But then level 6, when a creature scores a crit against your ally, you can use reaction to target the attacking creature, and for 1 minute, until it suffers a critical hit, any weapon attack does a crit on an 18 to 20, and then at level 14 that goes 17 to 20. So you expand the crit range at level 6 on a crit.
Okay.
And then you also, when you make an attack roll or saving throw, you get a plus 10 to the roll, but the next attack or saving throw you make is a negative 10.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess
And
it's
then
like it is like a last resort. I don't know. They
It's
shine brightest in the darkest. Is that
it's the most of critical roles, like subclasses and classes and stuff they've made, are very much like high risk, high reward. Like you never get anything for free. It's always like you must take damage or you must have this debuff for this buff, which is I kind of like that. A lot of the other subclasses are, you get all this good stuff and nothing bad happens. Whereas the Blood Hunter and the Blood Cleric, the Blood Wizard, all have these abilities to kind of buff their spellcasting, but they must take hit points. And then level 14, the capstone for the Tragedy Bard is you touch a willing creature as an action and empower it with tragic heroism. For 1 minute, the creature is surrounded by mournful music, ghostly singing, blah, blah, blah. It has +4 to its AC. It has its advantage on attack rolls and saving throws. When a creature hits a target with a weapon, spell, or attack, it takes an extra 1d10 radiant damage, and any weapon attack against the creature scores a critical hit on 18 to 20. So you buff something enormously. But when the effect ends, the creature drops to 0 hit points and is dying.
Oh, fuck.
So you get to go Super Saiyan, but then you potentially die at the end there.
So it's like movie montage.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
In trade-off for immediate death.
Yeah. So that's the College of Tragedy bard.
Ooh. I'm trying to look at classes that I've never played before. Like I've never played a bard, only because I feel like it's so much pressure to be clever. Like I don't know. I think
Unless you find a way to like undermine it.
Yeah, maybe that's just the box that I put it in, but
yes, yeah.
I think I think of bards as like, all right, having to be super witty, and I don't need that pressure.
No, I had a guy play a bard as a professor. So he was just like a charming professor, so he just like knew a lot of stuff. And his bardic inspiration was kind of like the artificer's flash of genius feat, and just like telling you info on the enemy. So,
hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That could be a really fun twist of like, do you want to hear a really useless whale fact? Here you go. Here's the fact.
Yeah. Because you've got College of Creation, Eloquence, Glamour, Lore, Spirits, Swords, Valor, Whispers, College of the Road, and Tragedy. College of the Road's brand new with Humblewood. So, like, you've got plenty of range to, figure out what you want. If you don't know what subclass you want to play, then you can just be like, I will be a bard and see what comes out. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forget how big this game is.
Yep.
Like constantly.
Yep. Yeah, it's microtransaction-y now though, because like if you use the core classes, they don't stand up to the bigger classes, so the core subclasses. So yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm getting Luke to trying to convince Luke to let me change class every long rest or when my character's stressed out, so they just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning this. I'm excited to listen to that.
So we got to figure out how stats work. But yeah,
cool. Yeah,
but we're not here for that. We're here for Safirith.
Oh my goodness, that's right. To play actual D&D and not just
not just nerd out, yeah, and not just Safirith, whose story it is. But the fans want to hear more about the Handsy Bandit, including shout out to Vez and Alex, who I saw in Herc's store the other day when I was DMing in person. I do have to say, I love that my one throwaway character, I'm gonna have fun and play a little raccoon. Somehow turned into because I could see how much fun you had with him, and I was like, we can't get rid of Handsy Bandit.
It's true. I think he's a good character for breaking me out of my normal D&D habits, and I think that's fun. So but I just every time I'm like, everyone fell in love with the character. I was like, he's just a little guy. He's just grabbing bottles.
Yeah, they fell in love with the character that you're most like. A feral little thing that's just got trinkets and shit.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm this what was that video I sent you? I think I'm this butch muscle mommy, but really we all know I'm just a feral little guy. And it's,
you can be both.
No, I'd actually have to go to the gym for it to be both, Jacob. So
yeah. You don't have to be like a butch muscle mommy. You can still be a muscle no, you can still be a tattooed Yeah.
It's okay. We're working on elements. We're getting back to climbing now. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna.
Nice.
I went swimming in the ocean this afternoon, so we're working on it.
Good. I'm about to start jump roping that sort of stuff, because that's
amazing.
That's fun. Yeah.
Look at us being healthy adults.
Yes, because we're, in our 30s and see that death's speedily approaching.
Yeah, I just look at all these youth around me. I'm like, oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's going.
Kids, do your stretches, do your mobility exercises.
Oh
Don't worry about lifting
my-
heavy weights. Just,
Oh my God,
just
stretch.
focus on
Oh my God, stretch.
stretch and do controlled articulated rotation of your joints, because you will thank us.
Yeah, I'm slowly turning into my great grandmother, and I'm not ready.
It comes for us all, as does the inevitable pull of D&D. So let's play some D&D.
Amazing. Woo!
I think that's the first time I've actually done a segue into us playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think because every time our opening chat gets, that's been where all our technical issues. It's been that that first half has been gone.
Yep.
But
But never again. Never again.
no.
Beautiful. So we are going to come back to the rusty dagger, the low ceiling with the natural light coming in as the morning kind of breaks. One of those establishments that's either open very early or stays open very, very late. The bar with the dwarven barkeep, Flint Firebeard, who has served you and Briar drinks at the bar there as Warvel has a bit of a rest. The old man with the chin-strap beard, the skinny man and the older woman in the corner. And Briar was beginning to talk about his backstory. I will let Briar take over for a moment before the door swings open as previously teased in the last session.
Briar grabs, takes another, dips his head back into the tankard.
That's
again.
right.
Just and just slowly, and you see as he's talking again, it's like this little creature is just never still. There's never a moment of stillness. He's his fingers are fiddling and tapping on the edge of the bar, and he's kind of looking around even as he's talking. He doesn't make eye contact while he's talking. Right, so you want to know about me, I want to know about you. We gotta trust each other, we gotta work on this thing together. So yeah, all right, I'm here for a bit of quid pro quo. Lid low bow. Lid below.
The barkeeper looks over and says, I loved his music. Oh, that's not how he speaks. I loved his musical Hamilton, lid blow blow.
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah, it's inspired by that famous bard. That's where the saying comes from, right? Yeah. So how about this, Hornsey? I ask you a question, and you ask me a question.
Oh, great. I'm just going to mute my mic and sit back here.
I did this to myself.
You really did. Yeah.
I literally thought about that last week when I was like, oh, I took my character to a bar with my other character.
Yep. That's all right. I'll save you when I feel like the torch has gone on long enough. But welcome to Dungeon Mastering.
Ooh, the yummy tastes. Safirith, she just kind of grabs her drink and takes a swig, and yeah, all right, I suppose that's fair enough. My previous friends we never got a chance to sit down long enough to do something like this, so why not? If I'm coming back home, I might as well rip off the Band-Aid. Right, and home, you teased a little bit. So your grandfather is Barris cold. Um, Jesus. So, did you grow up in that house? No, my mom left when she was really young. Let's just say my grandfather's not the greatest person, although I'm sure you've already figured that out yourself. Yeah, he seems like a fucking bastard, but that's just an outsider's opinion. Yes, so he's a fucking bastard, as you so eloquently put it. And when she slowly but inevitably realized what a horrible person he was, she ran away to go live with my uncle. And so no, I grew up far away from him. Yeah, that's answer enough, I think. What about you? I don't want to assume, but did you grow up in Fiona? Look, I understand that just because I've got paws and a really cute but mischievous face, you would inevitably think that I am from that continent. But that's a little bit of an assumption, don't you think, Hornsey? Yeah, fair enough. You're right, you got me in an assumption. But I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know where I'm from. My parents had me on a boat, born on the sea, and I don't know where this voice is going.
No, it's good. It's good. I'm genuinely enraptured. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Born on the sea. Okay, here we go. Yeah.
But yeah, I know that I'm massive now, and really just the picture of strength and bravado. But I was a run to the litter, and runs.
Oh my goodness.
Runs aren't worth keeping, you know. You don't.
I've just realized something.
What?
The Handsy Bandit, especially with that accent, could very well have come from New York, somewhere where there is goo that turns animals into, like, mutants around their formative years.
Whoa! What? No. Oh, no way. No, that wasn't my intent. That wasn't my intention. But
no, of course not.
But it would be pretty great. Yeah, so I looked after this bunch of turtles, and I taught them everything I knew. Really, they didn't know shit before they met me. Everyone credits a rat, but
the proper Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are just scrounging for. I mean, they do scrounge for pizza, but they're more like, "Hey, give us your fucking. You want me to kick you in the face? I'll kick you in the face."
Yeah, they're robbing every pizza joint in New York City. That's why they're all closed.
Yeah.
They don't exist anymore because of the sewage turtles.
Oh, I like that.
So yeah, there you go. I don't know my parents. They jumped ship, literally, and left me on board the crab bucket, and yeah.
As the story about Briar's parents, I guess, having him and then immediately jumping off a ship or something, is told. The story of the crab bucket. The door does swing open behind the two of you, and as the door swings open, you would see a tall woman in black gear with purple trim. Everyone in the bar immediately kind of stiffens up a little bit, but does that try not to make eye contact thing. As she steps in, you can see that her hair is very, very short, like almost shaved. Mild kind of like Sinead O'Connor vibe about her. You do see that she's got very, very sharp like cheekbones and jawline. Her eyebrows seem to arc in a permanently curious or bemused manner, and she's got a very, very straight nose. The kind of features that are normally only reserved for high elven individuals. And as she steps on in, she is in Empire's Guard garb. And as she steps in, she leans a spear against the doorway there and kind of pops her shield on the ground there. She looks up. She has these almost violet eyes. And as she looks up, she just kind of unbuttons the top of the high-collared kind of leather that goes like underneath the harder kind of, not quite plate, but breastplate kind of armor. And she just kind of unbuttons it, looks around, and just points to a booth. The barkeep just kind of nods and says, "Right there, laddie, lassie, sorry. Sit wherever you want to go." She nods and just kind of walks over to the booth and slots in and sits down. The rest of the patrons kind of go back to what they were doing, and the barkeep looks at the two of you and says, "Don't worry, she's one of the good ones, I guess you could say. Not ACAB doesn't apply to her. She is Queen's Guard, so watch what you say around her. But she's good." And he kind of walks over with what looks to be a very large tankard and then like a jug of ale as well, and just kind of walks around the bar over to this Queen's Guard individual. She glances up and gives him a quick smile and kind of hands coin over to him. She glances at you, and you see she catches your eye. She looks at Briar, but she catches your eye. Her eyes flicker up to your horns, and there's like a little crease of something in her eyebrow before she just goes back to her drink. That is what you see.
I wasn't aware there were any good Queen's Guard.
Barkeep comes back over and says, "You've got to understand that the Queen's Guard most of them are, some of them are doing their jobs. It's the enforcers and the those sorts of individuals you want to keep clear of. And yeah, a lot of the Queen's Guard are in it just to push society around. But I've found, especially up here in the northern sector, the guards up here who have sweet fuck all to do seem quite lax about what they do, and as long as you're not outwardly being criminalistic, they seem to not mind you. This one in particular, her name's Alana. She's been coming here for, 6 or so months now. She's got a spark in her that I recognise from back in Neodract in the war. I don't know. I can kick her out if you want, but frankly, she's harmless.
No, it's your establishment, your rules.
Damn right it is.
Briar just gives a little chuckle. Yeah, well, you could use the extra money to, I don't know, fix the place up a little bit if you're going to be the owner of the establishment.
If I fix the place up, then there'll be too many people here to serve and look after. I like it being quiet, it's paid off. The drunkards that come in pay for the stock, the drink and the food. Are you saying you'd still come here if it was very well built, beautiful, shiny, if there were more patrons?
God, no.
And if I recycled the bottle, I thought not.
No, I'd hate it, but I'm just tugging your chain because that's what I have to do.
You don't have to.
Oh, but I want to.
Right. See, there's a difference there.
You said bottles.
Yeah. They're out back waiting for you whenever you're ready.
You're a good man.
I know that.
Safirith will just kind of turn and look at the Queen's Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a few minutes, just kind of like take in her face and then turn back to Briar. Look, I respect that you want to get to know who you're working with, but maybe this line of conversation isn't the best to be having in front of present company. Oh, yeah, I get you. Just talking code. I gotta finish my drink. Because, I need to have at least one more before I'm actually ready for the day. You know what I mean? Not all of us can just float around on fire, blood, or whatever you've got. Wow, now who's making assumptions? Yeah, I know. It's fine. You're fine. You're good. Go ahead. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to ask you a question. How do you do this, Jacob? How?
I was sitting here like, here we go. This is when you bail yourself out as quickly as possible. You go, hey, well, I gotta go to sleep, or Safirith gets up and walks away, or you talk to the barkeep. It's up to you. But yeah, it is all joking aside. It's different, isn't it? It's different doing it with yourself than it is with one other person. Just one other person makes it so different. You're there, and when people pimp you out to it, you go back and forth, and you're like, I feel like I'm an idiot right now. But really, everyone's going, oh my god, this is fascinating.
Well, good, as long as it's good content. Briar just turns back to Safirith and goes, all right. One more question. And then I'll chug. You don't have to name names, but you mentioned that there's a not so good person that I'm assuming is waiting for you. Who knows if you said that or if I extrapolated it? I'm very observant.
What a mind reader.
Yeah, I know. I may be blind, but man, the things I pick up with my paws. Jesus. You would not believe. It's like the thoughts just leach out of people's skin. Really. There's someone bad. And I'm guessing that's the person that's disguised as, your family member. He who shall not be spoken of. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, pat, pat.
On your face, just...
Yeah. Just... It's the food. You're really bad at being subtle. Oh, yeah. I never learned how to be subtle. Are you kidding? It's not really my forte, even for a thief. I'm really bad at it.
The barkeep... Oh, yeah, go for it.
Yeah. No. What does the barkeep do?
The barkeep kind of looks up as you're talking and gives you like the heads up kind of raise of the eyebrows. And you hear kind of strong footsteps behind you, and the Queen's Guard is right behind you, just on the other side of you, Safirith. And she kind of stands at the bar and she says... Flint, I was wondering if I could get some sort of breakfast meal. My shift's over, and I gotta get back to sleep, but I don't want to do so on an empty stomach. Right, of course. What are you thinking? Eggs and wakey eggs and bakey, or sleepy lamb that's sheepy? She says,
your turn.
She says, I mean, if you've got some mutton, I wouldn't mind, but anything with a lot of protein would be good. Right, coming right up. Just kind of looks at the two of you and shuffles away. She kind of turns away from the bar, definitely glances back at you, and heads back to her seat there.
I get the feeling that we are being listened to. Oh, well, when you're being listened to, there's only one thing to do. And Briar grabs his drink and chugs it, like finishes it, and then walks right over to the Queen's Guard's table and sits down across from her.
Excellent. As Briar walks over and sits across, you turn Safirith and see Briar kind of bumps into a table or two on the way and then slips in the thing. Beautiful. As he sits down.
As he gets in there, he just little paws, just scrabbling over the table, feeling it out as he says, right, so, my friend over there thinks that you've been eavesdropping to our conversation, so I'm just here to cut the slack, cut the chat, cut the chip, cut the frick, and figure out what's your deal. And as his hands find her her tankard, he just pulls it towards himself. And
she lightning quick kind of spanks both his hands, does a slap, and goes to drag the tankard back. If you want to go ahead and roll an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Oh yes, please. Let's do athletics. Oh, okay. That's a 24.
24, excellent. Slap, goes to pull the tankard back, and you kind of scramble and kind of yank it towards you. It sloshes a little bit. As you grab the tankard, she looks at Briar, and then looks over at Safirith. She looks at Briar, and she says, I honestly wasn't listening. I was certainly looking. You're a curious-looking individual, as is she. Couldn't help but notice that she's, infernal. Gotta admit, my curiosity was piqued.
You're very observant. Look at you, doing such a good job. He just, pushes the tankard back towards her. Bad taste in ale, but it's fine. We can overlook these things. Too hoppy. I don't really like the hoppy ones. They're not as good on my stomach. Look, the barkeep says you're not that bad. Not a bad one. So, what, you follow the law? You get dragged into a job that you didn't really want to be a part of? A little bit of rebellion, mayhaps?
I'm just here to have a nice meal and a drink before I go sleep before my shift in the evening. That's all.
All right. Not gonna bother you any longer. Just wanted to, figure out what's up.
She looks at you and she says, what's up is that you saw a Queen's Guard. You saw a Queen's Guard. You thought that you were so vain that you thought, I'm here to spy on you, which means you've probably done something wrong or regularly do something wrong. I'm here to tell you I'm off duty, and I couldn't give a shit about you or your cute horned friend over there.
No, I am a very upstanding citizen. But the vain part, yeah, you're right. I'll give you that. She just noticed all of your attention, but maybe the attention is for a different reason. And that's totally fine. Who am I to step in the way of true love? So
she grins, and that arched eyebrow just cocks even more. and she says, "And what are you, a friend or a pet or a phase?"
Oh, a pet? Fuck you. Fuck you big time. That is. Look, I've been called a lot of things, but a pet, that I cannot abide. I am a... I cannot tell you what I am for fear of you deciding suddenly to be on duty, but I will tell you that I am a very respected individual in my own right. And if anything, I have more status than my friend over there. So there.
She nods as the food is brought out and kind of placed in front of her. As the food's placed in front of her, she says, "Can you go ahead and get a couple rashers of bacon and some eggs sunny side up and give them to my friend here? On me, of course. And an ale as well. Not any of this hoppy stuff. Not a big fan. And can you pour a glass of your finest and send it to the tiefling at the bar there? Thanks." "Right, of course. No problem at all." Places the plate down in front. She gives Briar a wink and just starts to tuck in, like, not elegantly, just knife and fork, starts spooning it into her mouth and kind of sips of the tankard that Briar's already drunken out of as she's drinking. She kind of eats, drinks, kind of pulls a hair out of her mouth from Briar and kind of flicks it to the side and just keeps eating. This is someone who's, gotten home or gotten to the end of their day and is now just like, I'm going to eat, I'm going to drink, and then I'm going to go to sleep.
I gotta say, you're surprising.
Coming from the talking raccoon? Question mark?
Yeah. We are a proud subspecies of tabaxi, but I'll take it.
Right. Wow. Well, if I see you when I'm on duty, you best not come near me, because you look like an instant stop and frisk kind of guy.
I'm frisky. Hey, I'll give you that. Look, how tied are you to your job? You feel like you gotta be lawful when you're on duty? Oi, Hornsey, I think you might want to hear this. And he just calls over to Safirith, who's by now, I guess, received a glass of liquor.
Yeah, very nice amber, almost red liquor. Not wine, but some sort of very, very amber whiskey or something. She looks at you, Briar. She looks over at you, Safirith. She kind of points her fork with a bit of a mouthful at Briar and says, "See, now you're treading on a line. I took an oath to keep the city safe and help with the progression of Oyer. Now, has it gone as I'd hoped? No. It's been a shitty 6 months, but I'm doing my best. I'm tied to this job because it's the only way I know how to do good for this city. Okay?"
All right. Look, everybody's got their lines, their burdens, their ideas of how morality works. I just don't understand. And he starts tucking into the food that she ordered him as well, and and talking while he's eating as little pieces. This is for you, Caleb. As little pieces of food come out of his
Yolk getting caught in his fur.
Yeah, yolk is dripping down the front of his chin while he's not wiping it away at all. I just don't understand how working for
someone like you work for, you could ever think that you'll do any good for this city ever. You know, how can you take 2 steps forward when you're being yanked 200 meters backwards by a rope?
I didn't come here to be lectured on the correct occupation. I'd love to hear what your occupation is and whether it works better for me or not. But I'll say this. I do not love my job, but it's the only way I know how to help. So take that or leave it. It's up to you. And as I said, while I'm off duty, I got all the time in the world for you. But when I'm on duty, you best watch out.
I do love a challenge. I really do. No, you seem nice. You're very generous. Too generous, especially on a guard's salary. Yeesh. But, I just ask because if, let's say, you ever get fed up with the path you've chosen, I'm not above doing some charity myself and taking in individuals that could, there's other ways. There's other ways to help people.
She looks at you and she says, she leans in and she says, if you're trying to be the face, you're doing a pretty good job of it. I'll give you that. She leans back and she says, I'm going to sit here and eat and drink, and then I'm going to leave. But thank you for the conversation.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you for the breakfast and the quality ale. I appreciate a favor, and I don't forget them. And I never forget a face. So just lean here right quick. And he just reaches out his paws to grab her.
Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
He's just scrabbling in the air.
Yeah. 3.
With his paws are covered in yolk and bits of breakfast. And he's just holding them out.
She just sits back in her booth seat there, and she's a good 2 foot away from him as she just kind of sits back chewing on her food, watching him kind of wave his hands in the air.
All right. I know better than to push my luck. I know when I'm not wanted. It's fine.
She goes,
I'll send my compatriot over.
Says nothing. She just keeps eating, watching you.
And Briar just pats the table and walks over to Safirith.
Well, my deduction skills are a bit rusty today, but I think she's actually not that bad. And I detect a glimmer of a possible willingness for excitement, which could lead to criminal activity, which could lead to a decently good ally on the inside. So why don't you go work your charm, Hornsey?
I'm sorry, what?
I want you to go chat her up. Go on, you can prove your usefulness to this organization, this band of compatriots. Go on.
And he just reaches out, pads around on the bar top, finds the glass of whiskey, dips his head in, takes a quick sip. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, she likes you. Go on.
As you...
I'm sorry, am I being pimped out by a tiny raccoon?
Yep. So go do your job. Go on.
This is unbelievable. Just when I think I'm starting to like you, She goes and walks over,
As you turn
sits down.
on your stool, you see she has kind of stood up. She's kind of just chewing the last of her food, sips the last of her ale, and just walks to the door, picks up her, it's actually a glaive and a shield, but picks up her glaive and her shield, gives a nod to the bartender, and says, "Thanks again, Fled. I'll see you, I don't know, I guess tomorrow morning, probably." And as she kind of gives him a nod, she just turns to look at you in the eye with those violet, kind of purple, shining eyes, and just gives you a smile. And you could have sworn that she winked at you, but you couldn't swear to it in a court of law. And she steps out the front door into the now morning kind of sunlight.
Wow. I thought at least you'd have some, like, smooth line or something. I couldn't see it, but I could feel that tension. Like, Jesus Christ.
I think this has been the weirdest morning of my life.
Well, plenty more day ahead. Don't worry. I can promise you that it will get weirder. Flint, you're a gentleman and a scholar, I'm sure, in another life. Can I have my bottles, please?
You can go get them yourself out back if you want them.
All right. I was just seeing how far the service of your great establishment extends, but I will go get them myself.
I'm not going to
Thank
drag bottles through my store just to give them to you.
Yeah, but I can push my luck, can't I?
You constantly do.
Well, I'll see you soon. A pleasure, as always. Come on, Hornsey, let's go.
Nods. You guys step out?
Yeah, we'll step out and go around back. Briar
Okay.
just like
As-
immediately doesn't wait for Safirith.
Yeah, Briar runs around back. As Briar runs around back, Safirith, Flint Firebeard kind of runs out quickly after you. As Briar kind of runs around the back end there. And as he runs out, he says, "Oh, hang on, this was left on her table there." Kind of hands you a little scrap of parchment that just says, Alana Shore Sorrow.
Okay.
It has on shift 7 p.m., 7 a.m. Otherwise free.
Safirith will just kind of fold up that paper and just like tuck it under her shirt and like between the bandages. And just like give a tiny smile to herself. Like she just lets herself have that little moment for a second. And then Briar kind of trots back from around the back of the building with a giant bag of broken bottles just like clinking.
Ah, God, I love that sound. There's just nothing like it. You know what I mean? All right, you ready to go back? I think we got some organizing to do before. Why do you have that stupid look on your face?
I thought you couldn't see faces.
Yeah, but I can feel the muscles in your face through your leg muscles. That doesn't make sense. No, really. I swear to God, the little tiny contractions of muscles that happen in your face, you got to be really attuned to it. And I have many a year of being attuned. But see, and she looks down, his paw is like on her calf. They're actually connected to the tiny little muscles near the tibia. And you can feel them when they are extended in a stupid little smile like the one you've got on your face right now.
Let's just go back to the warehouse, shall we?
All right. And I couldn't feel the muscles of your face. I was just guessing, but a pretty good guess, right?
As you
And he just starts walking back.
Yeah, as you head back to the warehouse there, you would find as you're heading back that the kind of the upper city and the right hand side of the city outside the wall has started to come alive. Come alive. There are vendors hawking what looks to be fresh vegetables that are very sad looking. You can see that storefronts are opening. People are sending their children to whatever kind of schooling they have here in Oyer. And as you make your way down and around towards the warehouse, every time you see that spear or glaive and shield and that dark clothing with that slight purple trim to it, you can't help but kind of keep an eye out for this Alana Shoresar. And as you're strolling back, Briar would start to feel a little tired. He will need to make a con save if he's going to stay up all day. But you head back to the warehouse through the little hole that you can kind of crawl under to get in. And as you step in, it is quiet. You can hear the soft snore of Warble in the background. And as you step on in with a bunch of planning to go before you head out this evening to the warehouse that you're going to prove your worth to Warble and Briar here. Perhaps more planning needed, perhaps some shopping needed, perhaps some allies needed to be found. I'm not sure. I'll leave it up to you. But I think we'll leave that little session there, and we'll have a think and see where you want to go to before you go to this warehouse.
Perfect. Yeah, I think as like a last thing, Briar will kind of like carry his bottles over to his bedroll and just like,
Right. Look, I am only a mortal creature, so I'm gonna hit the hay for a few hours and get myself back on track. But you do whatever or whomever you'd like to do, and yeah, we'll sort stuff out and get ready for what I'm sure will be a very eventful evening. But yeah, thanks for sharing, Hornsey. It might be a mistake, but I feel like I can trust you. At least as far as I can throw you. I could probably throw you decently far, so but we'll find that out later, won't we?
and he just like lies down and curls up around his bottles, and just like as he's falling asleep, his little hands are just going over all of them.
Patting each one.
And yeah, Safirith will go kind of lie down on her bedroll, not fall asleep, but just lie there and kind of think about everything that has happened in the past 24 hours and everything that she's sure is coming, and just trying to think about how she's actually going to make good on the promises that she started to make.
And as you kind of, having already tranced earlier, you're in that unique but very familiar situation of, I've woken up too early at a sleepover, and I'm the only one awake. And as your mind races with all these thoughts and perhaps some plans, we'll go ahead and leave it there.
Theater of the Mind Flare.
Thank you for listening to Theater of the Mind Flayer. If you like what you heard, give us a like, give us a review, rate us 5 stars. If you want to hear more, follow us on Patreon for more exclusive content and extra goodies. And make sure you follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Theater of the Mind Flayer or at mindflayer_pod. Thanks.